everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered podcast, where we like to break down and discuss America's fifth sport, MTV's The Challenge. This season is season 37, Spies, Lies, and Allies. And today we're going to be talking about episode 5, titled Good Vibes and Gladiator. Thank you to Gabo for the episode title. Don't forget, you can watch all of our videos, all of our past breakdowns, and all of our past interviews with current and former cast members on our YouTube channel, The Unbothered Podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook at The Challenge Unbothered or Entertainment Unbothered. And don't forget to go on IG and follow us there too, at The Challenge Unbothered. We're all over the place, baby. You can find us wherever you want. We're here. We're there. We are everywhere. We're sorry. This is like really early for us. We're all, except Gia, barely awake. I'm just not all there. I'm probably still dreaming at this point.
You sound like Dr. Seuss.
I sound like Dr. Seuss. Can I write children's books and make lots of money? But I'll be more politically correct. Can you get off my box, please? Hold on. Sorry. My cat's trying to... You do not fit in this box. You know, I have cats. And
that's what she said.
You know that old adage, if I fits, I sit.
I love
he
that
does not
joke.
fit.
It never gets old.
That's what she said. Get off my Raisin Bran.
Oh, Lord.
Cats are fighting for me this morning. Anyway, okay. Back to the show. So in this episode, as all episodes, it opens up with the previous victors of the elimination re-entering the house. This time it's Huey and Amber B. And Amber B is pissed off at a little man called Fussy or Messy Fessy or Trash Can, whatever you want to refer to him as.
Douchebag.
Yeah, she's pissed. Huey is all over the place because that's Huey. I mean, that's why we love him. And like right away, Tori tries to sneak in there with Emmanuel. I mean, Michelle's bed is still freaking warm, probably from them two, from Emmanuel and Michelle cuddling.
She hopped on him with a quickness.
Like she didn't even wait 24 hours.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it's okay. Oh, too. And then of course the producer set her ass up in that confessional. She does look good in that confessional outfit and look, I will say that, but like her actions are not cute. Girl, focus on the game.
Right.
Can we have a season where you're not focusing on a guy? Like that's what people gave Nani shit for years. Like maybe if you stop focusing on hooking up, you'd actually make it to a final and maybe even win. Okay, well, Tori, I need you to do the same thing now, please. Frankie, go tell your new queen since you abandoned the old one.
My brain is still like processing all these words and
you're like, they're statements. I know them. But at the moment, I cannot.
I'll just say what I always say. We stand Queen Tori.
You stand.
Don't say we.
There's no we. There's no we in this group. It's just Frankie. Just Frankie. Poor Gabo is still in shock, I think, because he no longer has Nani as his partner, and he not only doesn't have Nani, he is now part of one of the last couple of rookie teams left. I think that's the only rookie team at this point.
Yeah, I think it's the only one. Yeah.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said Emmy is the Corey curse of this season.
That was me.
She had, what was here?
That was Frankie. Yeah, and she keeps managing to dodge going into elims, but like, yeah, all her guys are getting. Oh, sorry, Huey. I guess that doesn't mean good news for you next episode. Well, I don't know. You might get lucky. It depends on the episode that a certain annoying person gets kicked out. I'm waiting. I wonder if that'll be next week. That fight.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully very soon. Clearly, I wrote, clearly Gabo should be on Jersey Shore, which we saw later because he said he prays to his god, Mike, the situation Zorrentino. And I was like, I mean, Mike now is good, but you should probably find a different idol.
I didn't really have any feelings one way or the other about Gabo until this episode, and he was hilarious.
He's so funny. Apparently, whose Challenge Mania was I listening to? I think it was Corey Lay's Challenge Mania I was listening to. And they were like, he said they had to explain, like the production had to actually explain to Gabo like what because he thought he was just going into a giant house to party, and they're like, nah, you're gonna actually have to do stuff. You can get eliminated. This is not Warsaw Shore the American version of Warsaw Shore. Like, you're gonna have to actually compete. But I Gabo's in. I don't really dislike any of these rookies so far.
Yeah, I don't either.
Which is surprising.
I just like, even though we're a spoilers group and we know who gets eliminated and stuff, like if you weren't part of a spoilers group, you could like tell who's gonna be eliminated on the show.
Yeah, they do the same thing they did last season.
Like camera time the entire episode. You're like, oh, they're gonna go home.
They titled the episode after something he said.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, good vibes and Gladiator. So I think they did that last season too, and that's what some people were pissed about. It's like, you know, I know who the hell's gonna go home because you like give them a lot of camera time their last episode, especially when they're a rookie.
And 20 confessionals.
Yeah, and 20 confessionals when they usually don't get any. So then we get to see Amber B is still pretty upset at getting burned again. She's venting to Josh. Josh is like, you know, being Josh, I'm done with that alliance. I'm done with that. I can't believe what they did. I'm done with them. I'm done with them, bro. I'm done with them. Fessy's still complaining that Amber didn't come and talk to him yet. And I'm just like, dude, you're 6'5". Like, your legs reach further than hers. I'm sure you can go talk to her first if you're that pressed.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's got to talk to you. She didn't do anything to you last season other than win. Oh, I'm so sorry. Does your ego hurt that bad? Here's the Band-Aid.
That's the problem with all of it. They're just salty that she won her rookie year. That's
including Casey. I'm sorry you got
Bottom line.
partnered with somebody who broke your fucking knee and then refused to eat anything when you did on said broken knee.
Yep.
That's not Amber's fault. That's Fessy's fault. Put it at him. Because Casey's getting really on my goddamn nerves this season with her attitude
I don't
towards
like her
Amber.
at all. Yeah.
She's completely turning on Josh, which is like, look, I get it. Josh is a lot emotionally. And I hate even more that he's making me side with him. Because, you know, you just human nature, you try to pick a side. And he's making me like him a little bit more because he's calling them out on their BS, which I was like, I didn't think he'd ever do. But like, Casey, you're doing too much. I know they probably keep telling you, bitch, you're boring and you need to get some camera time aside from just hooking up with Nani. But this is not the way to do it.
He is boring though.
This ain't it.
Even her hookup with Nani is boring.
Like they showed none of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know it's happening. We saw all the tea outside of this season. All of it. Whatever. She just needs a shout out. That's what I wrote. Big T and Logan are a giant flirt fest. I am here for it. Completely here for it.
Very good looking.
He's such a pretty man. And Big T is a gorgeous woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for love it. And at least they're on the same continent. Like, you know, it's not like she lives in the United States. She at least lives.
Was it Eve that said something about a ring or?
Yeah. So
what was the deal?
In her live that she did right before the episode aired, I believe, or it was like the night before or whatever, she did a live with Logan. You'll have to go back and watch this past episode as well. But if you look, and I think it's at the end of this episode when they show Big T and she's like going like this, she's wearing like this ring on her finger that's hers. Mm-hmm. And in her live that she just did, Logan is wearing that same ring on his pinky finger.
Oh, interesting.
And she even said, "Oh, Logan, you have my ring." And he's like, "Yeah, your ring." And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if she gave it to him after the elimination."
That's cute.
I mean, she gave him other stuff, so why not? Anyway, so Emmy and Gabo end up having a little team meeting powwow. They have two very different personalities. English is neither of their first languages, so I'm sure that plays into it. And Emmy is very intense. She's very intense. Oh,
statement.
Sorry. The mailman just dropped off the mail. It's okay, Leroy. It's okay. Leroy. Leroy Jenkins. Actually, it's Leroy Brown, but still. If I ever got to meet Leroy from the challenge, I'd be like, just so you know, my dog's name is also Leroy, and I love it. Not after you, but it's cute if you think it. So
You
they
just
take
tell him
these-
it's after him. It's fine.
I could. I just spelled it too easy. Leroy. Gosh, he gets so itchy because of his skin allergies from the grass. So the daily is called a minefield. It's basically like I equate it to almost like a military-esque obstacle course. They're having to mud crawl under crosswires. They're having to go up and down a wall to get these puzzle pieces. How did we feel about this daily? Did we like it? Did we not like it? Did we feel it was kind of boring? Did we feel it was too complex? What do we think?
I didn't think it was complex. It looked, I mean, there's no way I'd be able to do it over and over again. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
you know?
same.
It looked tiring, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it was nice because we kind of got to see their strengths a little bit better than just
True.
Yeah.
one.
And,
I feel like
some people's math weaknesses.
like a third, as Devin said, how are you all still alive? And you know what? I paused on when it showed Berna's. I paused it on the equation because I was like, oh, I wanted to see how less than 60 seconds. And I am not a math person. Like, I struggled to get B's in math class. I had bad math teachers throughout like my years of high school. I don't go out of my way for math, but this is challenge level math. Like, there is no PEDMAS that you have to follow. It's literally left to right.
So you said you paused on Berna's.
Yeah, but that's because
Well,
that was the only one they really showed them.
Yeah, but because she was in the circus, it was okay.
Well, I'm sorry they didn't teach you basic addition.
She actually got
multiplication.
it though.
She did. So I'm like, you had to have learned something because this
Sorry.
isn't crazy hard math. It's just
You
left to
got that
right.
math problem in 60 seconds?
Less than 60 seconds.
I looked at it and there's like no way my mind would have been able to process that.
You just do the first section by section. 1,000 divided by 5 is 200, and then the 200 plus whatever minus whatever, and I got 2250 at the end, which was the
I'm
answer.
terrible at math, but I feel like I could have figured it out. But it's hard for me to do it in my head. Like, I need to see it, like, right.
Oh, I was able to in my head.
know?
I do these things where I like do it with my fingers. It's like Amber, except they don't need the sand.
They were all doing it with like the mud. I would have been doing that.
That's true. That's a good
I
one.
would have been able to do it with a calculator.
Well, unfortunately, can't
They
have
didn't
that
have
on the
those.
challenge.
It was so cute when Amber B was like, oh my God, it's gone. It's gone. It's because she was writing it down and she couldn't see it anymore. And that's like what happened to her in the last season. And like Devin said, like, come on. I think like Priscilla was the first female to actually get the
Priscilla.
combination. Berna, thank God, got it fast enough that her and CT got their final pieces. And I mean, look, they end up winning, but we're going to talk about some of the stuff that did happen during, because it didn't really seem very close between anyone. I don't know. I don't think they didn't edit it well enough together, or it was just such an expansive daily that it's just difficult to do that with as many people. We all know the editing's
not that perfect anyway. So
yeah. So this daily is when Anissa dislocates her shoulder. I could hear it. I heard it pop before we saw it. And then if people keep saying, well, she didn't even land on her shoulder. So if you don't realize it, when she's hanging there holding that arm, that's the one that dislocates, because as she's dangling and she's probably holding longer than she intended to, physics, gravity, it could happen to almost anybody. That weight of it pulled her shoulder out of socket, and then she fell. And as we see later on, she gets medically
that wants to say hi.
Oh, yes. Oh, hi, Abby.
Say hi.
Oh my God, I love bulldogs so much. There's these people that have a bulldog in my neighborhood, and I love him. Like, I just want to give him cuddles every time I see him, but I don't, because I don't want to get him all riled up, because he's still like a puppy-ish. He's like, I think maybe a year old at this point. He's so cute. I think his name's Chief. I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway.
Sorry.
It's okay. I love dogs. I'm always happy when there's an interruption for an animal. So as we see, Berna is talking about, like, I didn't learn math. I was in the circus. They do not teach us these things, which you would think in the circus they would try to teach you math, because, you know, I don't know. It just feels like it would go hand in hand. But what do I know? I've never been in the circus.
I'm just going to say Berna's weird.
Yes. No, you think that. I mean, she's definitely a quirky
She's
person.
unique.
And you would have to be if you grew up in the goddamn circus. I mean,
Right.
hello.
I don't really think she's weird.
I think she's different from what I've seen. I haven't even seen anything to really go, yeah, she's really weird.
But you know why I just keep
Right.
saying that?
Because that's what Devin said.
Right.
Well, no, he said that, and then you, Nadine, you're the one who like made me keep saying it because you're like, I just don't see why she's weird.
And I'm like,
I'm
and
like-
Devin of all people should not be
Yeah.
calling anybody weird. Dude, you apparently stink and don't wear deodorant. Like, if you smell, you're not allowed to joke on anyone else's personality. I do hope one day we get to act like someone gets to meet him and like can tell us if he actually smells.
Like if he smells.
Like I want like
I
a
would
fan
go in for the
unbiased
sniff
account.
test. I'm volunteering.
You or Frankie. Okay, great. Now we just
We'll
have
get
to
one
go
on each side.
to New
Smell
England
him.
somewhere. I'm not the right one because my nose doesn't work as well after having had COVID last year, so can't be me. All right, so after the daily, Logan is talking about, oh, maybe I'll put myself into elimination because Anissa's gone, and Josh is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you want to volunteer yourself? And the rookies at this point are just serving themselves up on silver fucking platters. Like they're not putting up a fight. They're just rolling over and going, okay, take me.
Was it Kyle or somebody was like, they're just nominating themselves at this point?
Yeah. Do they realize there's no skull twist and there's not a twist
Right.
anymore? Like you don't need to get a skull. You don't have to go down there. Like what's happening? And I mean, he's got a point. I thought the same thing before he actually said it. So Nisa comes back in the house. She's incredibly upset. She says she is actually really injured. She can't continue. It is sad to see. I don't like to see anybody going out because of an injury. And everybody's really upset. Logan is now nervous because he understands he was really safe with
Right.
Anissa. I mean, because let's be real, no one was going to steal her. I mean, no one was going to steal her.
I was laughing. I was savage. You're like, let's be real.
No one's going to steal her. Like, and she's not a bad partner. She's good enough that Logan didn't really have to worry about coming in last place, while also being safe enough until they got rid of almost every other rookie, until it would come down to the wire.
Right.
They would pick him individually after the house vote because they're, or it'd be like right before the final because that's when Anissa always gets voted in. I don't know why. If I was a woman, I would want to see her in the final.
Yeah.
But apparently we all want Fessies and CTs in the final because we're idiots. Unless your name's Devin. And so they're just like wanting, I don't know, Logan's just nervous because he's like, I don't have a partner now. So maybe it is a good idea if I go, which it makes point. If I go on elimination, I can then choose who my new partner will be, and maybe it'll help keep me safe for longer. And I don't blame him. But
yeah, I mean, I get it.
I would still try to fight for myself.
Yeah.
I'd be like, but what if I go down there and I kick the shit out of them and then I come in pissed off? Like, is that what you want for me? Like, I don't know. I would not go down as easily as some of these rookies are going down. Like, I'd be trying to stir some fucking pots. I would cause some goddamn problems. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Or at least lay low. Like,
yeah, something.
Don't
Don't pull a
I guess
Huey.
it's my turn.
Yeah, and don't pull a Huey. Don't stand up on the chairs. Which we will get to.
Huey's fun.
I love Huey. He's like so all over the place, but at least he holds himself accountable. I will give him that. He knows he's a mess. He admits he's a mess. He knows he goes all over the place. He says sorry. He's working on it. I think he's still pretty young. I think he's like in his early to mid 20s. I mean, it's okay. And it's a cultural thing. So anyway,
he always says,
I do too.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could I can't do his accent because it's not like a regular Irish accent because he's Irish traveler. So it's like a really like mishmash culmination of different like accents from that region. And I love it. I don't think that they understand what I'm doing. I can't do it because it'll come out Geordie or really Irish. Anyway, so then we get to the party. Again, I love the music. Ed's freaking dance moves. since that's the only Ed I got this episode.
I loved it.
This was a good one. He's like, yeah, they love my dance music, Conshohocken. And I'm like, dude, nobody's going to Conshohocken to do a dance off. All right. We're gonna meet in the IKEA parking lot. Every time he says Conshohocken that way, it makes me think of that Jersey Shore episode where Mike, the situation was like, Secaucus. Who fights in Secaucus? Makes me think of that, like, but for Conshohocken.
I have never seen Jersey Shore. No.
I've seen some of it.
I can't talk to either of you.
It doesn't interest me, but I'm obsessed with Geordie Shore.
I was gonna be like, you're watching Geordie Shore. Jersey Shore is like
I think Geordie Shore because I like all their accents and everything, and you get to see all these
Geordie Shore.
Yeah.
Oh wait, mate. I love talking like that. It's terrible. So wait, it's got what
I have a joke for you guys because last week they played Backstreet Boys, right? All right.
Yes.
I said I wasn't gonna distract you guys, but this is just a quick dad joke, I guess. Anyways, the little boy was like, "Oh, Dad, they're making fun of me," and the dad's like, "Who?" Oh no. The little boy was like, "Sorry, I screwed up." The little boy was like, "Dad, they're calling me a Backstreet Boy," and the dad was like, "Who?" And the little boy's like, "Everybody." Okay.
I love that. Everybody. Yeah. It's like in the movie This Is the End. The Backstreet Boys.
I love that movie.
Heaven at the end. Oh, it's beautiful.
That is a batshit crazy movie.
Oh, it is so funny. So Gabo is super stressed about being partnered with Emmy because again, like they're just two very different personalities. She's very intense. He's very not. I mean, she comes from Survivor. He comes from Poland's version of the Jersey Shore. Let's be real. And Gabo tells Nani that, you know, he's going to choose her if he ends up winning the elimination. Like, girl, I'm taking you back. She's like, oh my God, I love this. Everyone loves me this season. And I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah. Maybe because most of them haven't done their homework.
Clearly. Very few did. Like Corey Lay was like really the only one who did his homework, and he's gone.
Yeah.
So sad. She gives him a nice little pep talk, and then Devin talks to Logan about, you know, he's like, dude, you're going in against Gabo. We already know it. It is what it is. Let's talk about it. And again, I said, why the fuck are these rookies serving themselves up on silver platters? And then we see Big T and Logan hook up. I say yes. That was a hookup.
I'd say yes.
Even if it's not fully, like full blown, it's a hookup. And Kyle's grilling the two of them. Or you like each other, or do you love him? Do you love her? And they're just giggling.
The confessional when he was talking about the undergarments, though, I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, I want to get into his undergarments. I don't want to get into her undergarments. I'm very pretty. Such thing like that. And then we see Casey and Josh arguing over the whole Amber B thing and the Fessy thing. And what do we think about that? What do we think about that argument?
Well, like I said last week, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm on Josh's side. Yeah, I just pretty much don't like Casey, and she's up Fessy's ass, and they're all scared of Amber. And Fessy's whole deal is, like I said the other night during the show, I can fuck up your game, but you can't fuck up mine. That's basically what he's saying. So, yeah. How about you, Frankie?
I don't know. I hate them. I just hate, like,
short to the point.
Why didn't they bring in any other Big Brother players, like, from here to shake that stupid alliance up?
Because they wanted international rookies, Frankie. And there's no good people from BB recently, unless you can think of some, aside from Cody, and Tyler maybe, that would do decent and would want to be on the challenge.
They could have brought back, like, Natalie. I'm sure she would have been on, even though she's terrible, but
I don't think she would have done well in this season. Like,
no, but
She would have hated being part of that Big Brother alliance, which I think it's funny that Huey wasn't. I mean, they did. Huey's from Big Brother. He's just from Big Brother UK.
Well, so was Tasha and Esther is too.
Yeah,
so.
or from Big Brother Nigeria. Now, if they wanted a real Big Brother alliance, what they would have effing done is they would have allied with the international BB players, and their alliance could have been double the fucking size. Huh.
Right.
See what happens when you goddamn think? Something nobody on that team does. That's why they have to go to Devin for help via Josh, because they're all idiots.
I don't like this
Anyway.
Devin Josh
I
thing.
don't either. I like fight. I
Me
want to see it
either.
fight again. I hate it.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the deliberation. You know, there's a lot of speculation. Is it going to be males only because Anise is gone? Like we've seen this happen before this season. Logan says, you know, he does want to go in so he can choose his own partner if he wins and put himself back on a good place in the game. Fussy tries poorly to play peacemaker. We've all been playing a really clean game. And I love how Amber laughed at him and was like, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Right. I love that she called him out.
Oh, we really gonna talk about this right now? No, we can talk about it later, but I just wanted to make sure you actually fucking said that after what happened. Like, bitch, I'm barely out of the elimination round from the last time, thanks to you. And then I would have cussed his ass out further. I'd have been like, that's really funny coming from you, messy Fessy. Now I said some things to make him cry. He's a clown, which we all know. Gabo then, you know, continues to say, well, he's going to take Nani back if he wins. Huey tries to plead a case to not take Nani, but that doesn't work. And Nani's like, oh my God, what world are we in? I can't believe these freaking are fighting right. Because y'all suck. There's no good veteran female players other than Ashley. In case
That's true.
There's still at least 3 more choices
Tori,
above
I guess.
Nani, like Ashley, Casey, even Tori.
Yeah. I don't
Above Nani.
know why. Maybe it's because like someone told them, oh, Nani was in the final last season. So they're all like, oh, she was in a final. So she must be good. And I'm like, yeah, it took her 10 fucking years to get there.
I mean, unless they just think more social side of it because she
I
is
guess.
in with with Big Brother and the vets.
Which is fine, but
So-
like at the way that this is going, y'all know that you're gonna have to run a final with whomever you're partnered with. Like
Yeah.
and this is again, I'm going back to Corey Lay's challenge meeting episode. He made a great point. He said a lot of those people in there this season, it was like all they thought about, it was very short-sighted. Everything they did was very short-sighted. He's like, I went in thinking, who do I want to run in a final with and against, and who do I not? Because that's how you should think.
Right.
And they're all thinking like, can I win tomorrow's daily? Who do I want to be partnered with in my daily? And it's like that doesn't matter. You could win
Yeah.
0 dailies as long as you make it to a final and have a decent partner, and you can win. You ain't winning with Nani. Nani, in my opinion, is the reason why Leroy got 3rd place last season. I'm sorry.
I mean, there are always just people who show up and can't play the game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's just some people that aren't strategic.
None of these
or,
people are strategic.
You know, yeah.
It's
Some will
boring
come
in
back
that way.
and now they'll know.
Hopefully, if
you
we
know,
see any of
but-
them back.
Oh, I
You
think
know,
Michelle
like-
will be back. Michelle and
I
Michaela.
hope Michelle. I hope.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I muted myself. Probably a
Oh.
good thing because the dog barked. And I was like, you tell him, Leroy. So anyway, Huey I'm sorry.
Yeah. And CT's already so entitled about going to the finals.
And they're all
like-
just letting it happen.
So I think the only time was when Jay called it. Did Jay call him out on Total Madness?
Yeah.
So that was the only time, and then War of the Worlds is like the only time CT's ever been like,
Yeah.
called
And
out.
I get it because he's a frightening person to want to piss off. Like, even though he's not the exact same personality he was when he was first on here, you still know he is a goddamn machine. And if you, God forbid, have to
Don't
go up
poke the
against him,
bear.
don't poke the bear, especially when it's sleeping. And I
Right.
understand that, but these vets are idiots for getting rid of every single male rookie that physically stood a chance to get rid of CT. Now, who's the only person who could probably get rid of CT? Fussy. And we know he's never going to actually put himself in a position where he goes one-on-one with CT because he's going to be too goddamn embarrassed to lose.
Yep.
So you all are idiots and you all deserve what happens at the end of the season.
But I'm okay with it.
I know.
I'm okay with the way it pans out.
So Huey gets super dramatic, obviously, during deliberation. Ashley tells him if he doesn't stop talking, he's going to be the one to go in. So he pipes down.
He threw a little bitch fit.
He does. He's so cute. And then the house vote is, no surprise, it's Anissa and Logan. I wonder why they didn't vote in Gabo and Emmy. Because that was the original house vote idea. Was it just easier because Anissa was gone and Logan was by himself? So it's like, oh, makes sense. I don't know. It's weird.
Who was it? Logan that said he didn't want to. He wanted to be the house, or he didn't want to be the house. He
did not want to be the house vote because he was afraid if he was the house vote, there was no guarantee that he would be going against Gabo.
Right. Yeah.
But like, if you think about it, if they were gonna put a girl into elimination too, then they could just vote in Emmy and Gabo and just piss off one team. Where if they just picked Logan and Anissa, they would have to piss off Logan plus another girl from another team. So it'd be
even though Gabo and Emmy knew, or at least Gabo knew he was going to be going in, which now that I think about it, of the rookie guys left, other than Emmanuel, the rest of the dudes are, well, I think it's just Gabo, Logan, Emmanuel, and Huey are the only rookie dudes left, right?
Yeah.
That's all I could think about.
So it's other than maybe Emmanuel, there was no threat for Logan, period. Other than Emmanuel and Gabo, depending on the elimination. And the rest, wow. They've really picked off the rookies. Holy shit. And of course, Tommy went home with the concussion. Anyway, so we jump right into elimination time. TJ does say that it is a male-only elimination after scaring the females for a couple of minutes. And even Nani's like, why does he do this?
Because it's fun. Because they all crap their pants when he does it.
Well, it's got a point. Like, you can't just assume because Anissa went home, we're going to let y'all off the hook. Because, one day we may be like, let's do a double purge or something and see what happens. And then you all be shaking in your boots.
I like your impressions of Nani. So
thank you. I'm here all week. I also like my impressions I do of Kyle, because I get to talk like I'm from Geordie Shore. Except I don't have the teeth to impersonate him that well.
I want that.
Not me. So it turns out that it is obviously going to be Gabo versus Logan. It's some elimination where they have to solve a puzzle, and it involves them pulling themselves up a rope to look at the answer key. And it's not crazy super exciting. Gabo is stronger than his popcorn muscles that he wants us to believe, but his memory is kind of what fails him. I was actually surprised Logan didn't do better, like win more easy.
He just gassed out.
Yeah, people were like shouting at him, use your fucking legs when you're pulling yourself off this rope. You're pulling yourself up arms only. You're a big dude. Your legs are going all over the place, which is more like energy that's being expended. No wonder you were dead after the second try.
Well, he started off great. He did, quick up there, but if you can't remember it, then that's just more times you have to go up and down.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's why you have to be like, and it's a rookie move. It's a rookie move to not try and conserve your energy as much as you can and just right out the gate. And then that's when this happens. And if it wasn't for Gabo not having the best memory, I think Gabo probably would have won.
Yeah, they got neck and neck there for a while.
He did. So, Gabo, he goes bye-bye. He says, praise to his Jersey Shore God. Logan ends up stealing Nani. Huey is like, fuck. Yeah. Because now he's with Emmy.
Yep.
The Grim Reaper of this season. The Grim Reaping partner of the season is Emmy. And those two personalities together
the
are going to make one hell of an episode.
Most emotional people.
And they are emotional on like opposite sides of like the spectrum, because she's like gets really like angry emotional, and he just gets like very like, I'm upset and my feelings are hurt or emotional. And even though English is Huey's first language for the most part, because I don't know, he knows some Irish, but he mostly speaks English, but he has such a crazy thick accent. And then you throw in Emmy, who is Romanian with a thick accent, and they're just going to start screaming at each other because they don't understand what the other one's saying. Like, that's what's going to happen.
I'm ready for it.
I think Huey would have done
more
really
drama.
well. Yeah, with like Amber B as a partner, because she could like get him focused. Like, hey, bring it in a little. But that was pretty much it for this episode. I mean, the good is per usual, the music.
I'll do we'll do the what they do at the end of every episode this season. I'll pretend I'm in a confessional. And there's getting fewer and fewer options left. And these bets are we're gonna have to start turning against each other sometime soon. Every episode.
Because at the end of the day, I want to win this for my family. My family is my biggest support system. And at the end of the day, it's about me and my family. And no one else can stop me because I have great heart.
My family's the only one that truly has my back. Like, yeah.
They're all snakes.
Y'all are cracking me up. I'm not going to do one because you covered all the bases.
Well, like, who else are you guys going to be doing this for? Like, I'm doing this for my local 7-Eleven clerk. They can serve it, everything. Like,
I always said if I like won the Oscar or something, I would just thank myself because I was the one who was in it. So I would just be like, I'm playing for me. I want this money. I want bragging rights for me.
Bad. Sorry, my cats are scrapping over the couch. Herman looks so offended right now that Amadeus dare like swiped at him. Like, the look on his face is pure like, I am offended.
I could see you, Tia, being like, I'm doing this for my dogs. They deserve the best.
I totally would. They need more treats.
I'm doing this for my cats because I want them to have a mansion so they don't have to interact because they don't like each other. And for the dog to have his own little wading pool. Anything else we want to talk about this episode? We kind of have a good and a bad, the ugly. Personally, for me, the good is always the music. The bad is the daily could have been a little bit better. Actually, really, the elimination could have been a better one. I wasn't a huge fan. And just the ugly is it was kind of a boring episode. One of those filler episodes. I mean, they happen sometimes. Not every episode can be like, wow, wham, bam. And I really think part of the problem with this season is there's so many people.
And they're 90 minutes episodes.
We've lost a lot, and there's still so many.
And I think next week it's only an hour.
Is it?
I think somebody said next week's is only an hour, which is insane to me.
Well, my good is that we saw more CT.
Yes.
That's a good thing. My bad is always until he goes home going to be Fessy. Just even if he's not on the episode, he's the bad. And the ugly, I have to agree with you. It was a little bit boring. I liked, I did like though that Kyle's and Devin's confessionals were spot on, but they always are.
Always. Mm-hmm. How about you, Mr. Frankie?
Ed's dance moves.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to do the good, the bad, and the weird. The good is Ed's dance moves. The bad is Ed's dance moves. The weird is
I knew you were going to say Berna.
I knew it. Oh, did we see them fighting?
Eliminated.
Real quick, did we see that Berna and Emmy were going at it on Twitter?
Yes.
I'm not really sure about what exactly.
On next week's episode, Esther throws water on Amber.
On Amber B.
Do we have to call her Amber B still? Because there's only one Amber.
No, we don't. I think it's just habit at this point.
Yeah.
And then Berna and CT aren't talking to each other as partners. Like, what had happened? Like, I'm like, what happened between them winning and being the agency to all of a sudden, like, they're not even talking to each other as
It's
partners? Like, what's
it's
happening?
probably nothing like what it's edited to be.
Probably. And of course, we're gonna have to
Probably
get
him.
all the real info afterwards
Yeah, for sure.
on the aftermath, or on Twitter, on Instagram Live, or whatever.
I'm starving.
Me too.
Was
I
that
ate
weird just to
breakfast.
throw that in there? Sorry.
It's okay. Sometimes our tummies talk to us. So, anything else we want to talk about this episode? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, hope we get a better one next week.
Me too. So once again, don't forget to watch our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Unbothered Podcast. You can join our Facebook groups, The Challenge Unbothered or Entertainment Unbothered. Entertainment Unbothered is where we talk about everything else in media land, television, movies, music, the hot celeb goss, whatever you want. And then, of course, give us a follow over on IG at The Challenge Unbothered as well. We have some really awesome interviews lined up here in the near future, or they're in the works of being lined up with current and former cast members of both the regular seasons of The Challenge and All Stars. So keep an eye out. We're doing Jenny West very soon. I'm very excited. I have to try not to hyperventilate when we do that because I absolutely freaking love her.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little freak out session ahead of time
before we record. And then we'll be normal.
Jack wants to say hi now too.
Oh, hi, Jack.
You're my boy. You're talking to you. He's such a puppy boy.
He's like, you're embarrassing me, Mom.
Hush. Sorry.
It's okay. I expect nothing less from a husky. My dog's whining now too. So yeah, so check us out on all those platforms. And until next time, I don't have a catchphrase to end it with.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.